car, Rolls-Royce shaking in a steady rhythm. His secretary's face was pressed against the car window, her red lips slightly parted, her eyes glazed, her hands braced against the roof. I forced a smile and was about to take my daughter away.
Mommy, that's Daddy's car. Didn't Daddy say he couldn't come? Is this my birthday surprise?
The next second, a woman's leg in torn stockings slipped out of the car.
Honey, Daddy bought you a present. You have to wait until tonight's birthday party to see it.
When my husband noticed me, he only gave a careless smile.
Don't be mad, sweetheart. I'll make it up to you
I
tonight.
smiled. Then I silently sent out the video I had just recorded. The day I took our daughter Lily for her checkup, Julian came to pick us up. He had been away on a business trip for days. The moment he saw us, he pulled me and Lily into his arms. I smelled unfamiliar perfume on him. Lily hugged his neck and asked for attention. I smiled and watched them play. Then I got into the car, saw a woman sitting in the back seat.
Hi, Mrs. Ashford. I'm Sophie Whitfield, the new executive assistant at Ashford Group.
I looked at Julian,
She's on the way. I'm just giving her a ride.
but Julian was the CEO of Ashford Group. Since when did he personally drive a young assistant home? Sophie gave me an apologetic smile.
Please don't misunderstand. I wanted to apologize.
Inside the bag was the exact hand cream I always used.
I was on the business trip with Mr. Ashfield and forgot to bring mine. His was in the car, so I accidentally used it all. This is a new one. I hope you don't mind.
I did not take it right away. Panic flashed across Sophie's face, and she instinctively looked at Julian. Julian's voice softened.
Take it.
But there was no room for refusal, so I took the bag and set it aside. Lily sat in her car seat and watched Sophie curiously. Then she saw the candy in Sophie's hand. Her eyes lit up. Sophie was about to unwrap it for her.
She just came from the dentist. She can't have candy. It's high-end organic candy. It's totally safe. Organic candy is still candy.
Julian frowned while driving.
Claire, she was just being kind.
I stopped talking.
Lily listens to Mommy. Lily won't eat it.
Sophie's hand froze, then slowly pulled back. Car stopped in front of a rundown apartment building. Julian clearly knew the way. Sophie got out and apologized again. I only nodded. On the way home, Julian's voice became warm again.
Don't be upset. She's young and just graduated. She wants to do everything perfectly. When she gets stubborn, she won't even listen to me.
There was a smile in his eyes.
She has a real spark.
When we reached our building's garage, Julian suddenly leaned over and kissed my cheek. I did not pull away.
Mommy, Miss Sophia smells really nice. She smells like Daddy.
Julian's smile froze. I laughed softly, pretending not to care.
Daddy's car always smells like Daddy. What does that have to do with Miss Sophie?
Lily blinked. She did not understand. I got out and carried her inside. When I looked back at Julian, his face had turned cold.
If raising Lily is too much for you, I can hire a professional. She is the jewel of the Ashford family. Don't let your negligence tarnish her.
From the day I married into the Ashford family, I knew Julian would never belong to me alone. He had mistresses. He had one-night stands. The year Lily was born, I made a scene over one of them. That was the first time I saw him truly angry.
Claire, remember this. Everything I gave you, I can take back whenever I want.
I thought of Lily, so I swallowed it. After that, I learned to behave. No matter how many women Julian had outside, he always came home. Sometimes Julian was so gentle that I almost believed I still mattered. I told myself I was his wife. Other women could come and go, but I was the one he married. I was the one at home with his daughter. I thought that made me different. Then Sophie showed up. Julian didn't keep her outside like the others. He brought her into my marriage. After putting Lily to sleep, I went back to the master bedroom. Julian stood by the balcony, looking at his phone with a faint smile.
All right. You've had a long few days. Get some rest.
His voice was too gentle for a subordinate. I thought of Sophie's pretty face from that afternoon. Then I walked past him and went into the bathroom. Halfway through my shower, a hot body pressed against my back. His voice came from above my head.
Did you miss me these past few days?
I stepped aside and wrapped myself in a towel.
I'm tired today.
As I turned to leave, Julian grabbed my wrist. He raised an eyebrow, amused.
I've been saving it all for you. Keep pushing me away, and I may have to share it with someone else.
He always liked saying things like that in bed. He always thought I would enjoy it. When I pushed him away again, the smile in his eyes only deepened.
Are you mad? There's nothing between her and me. She just reminds me of you a little. If you don't like it, I'll be more careful. Come on, be good.
Julian, please, don't touch me.
His face darkened at once.
Claire, while I'm still willing to coax you, don't push your luck.
So he picked me up and threw me onto the bed. There was no gentleness left. In the dark, his voice was cold.
If you want this marriage to work, stop making trouble.
My whole body went stiff. After a long time, tears slid down in silence. The next morning, Lily ran over and kissed my face.
Mommy, Daddy is taking me to the amusement park today.
I was surprised. Julian hated crowded places. He had never taken Lily to an amusement park himself, but he only leaned against the doorframe and smiled at her.
Let's go, my little princess.
After they left, I went to the hospital. What happened last night made me uneasy. When the test results came out, I froze.
Congratulations, you're 4 weeks pregnant. The embryo is not stable yet, so no sex during the first trimester.
I sat in the car with the report in my hands, then I cried until I could not breathe. During the 2 years I loved Julian the most, I believed a child could tie his heart to me, so I became pregnant with Lily. For a while it seemed to work. Julian came home more often. He spoiled me, cared for me, and treated me like the girl he had once chased in college. Then Lily was born. I was terrified and in pain in the delivery room. Julian disappeared. Later I found out why. That same day, he had finally won over a college girl he had been chasing for months. While I was giving birth to his daughter, he spent the night with her in the penthouse suite of the tallest hotel in the city. I hated him. Five years had been enough to kill every expectation I had left for Julian Ashford, but people still told me to have another child.
The more powerful the man, the more women he'll have around him. Which man in our circle is clean? Julian is already one of the better ones. Just have a few more children. No matter what he does outside, you'll always be Mrs. Ashford.
The Ashfords had only one heir in each generation. If I gave them another child, boy or girl, Julian's parents would protect me, even if he wanted to make my life difficult. That was the rule. You did not fight the hand that fed you. And I had Lily. She was almost my whole life. So I put the pregnancy report away, drove home, and made a pot of soup while waiting for Lily to come back. Night fell. After calling Julian 10 times with no answer, I finally grabbed my car keys and went out to look for them. He was not at the office. The amusement park was already closed. Just as I was about to drive to the Ashford estate, the housekeeper called.
Ma'am, Lily is home. Marcus just dropped her off. She's asleep.
I leaned back against the seat and let out a breath. Then the housekeeper added,
Marcus also said Mr. Ashfield won't be coming home tonight.
All right.
I hung up and turned the car around. At the next corner, I saw Julian's car. His tall figure stood under a dim street lamp. A cigarette burned between his fingers, and the ground was covered in cigarette butts. It was Sophie's apartment building, the same place I had seen yesterday. Julian looked up at one lit window without blinking. I followed his gaze. Behind the curtain, a woman's shadow moved softly, and Julian stood there like a devoted man in a drama, only daring to watch her from a distance. Something inside me cracked, piece by piece. I sat in the car all night. When the sky began to turn pale, Sophie came out of the building. She looked well rested. The moment she saw Julian, surprise lit up her face, and Julian came alive. He smiled, said something, and stepped closer. She stepped back, but her cheeks turned red. Then they both got into his car. I sat there numb. My chest felt like a thin wire was tightening around it, cutting off my breath. When Julian chased me years ago, he had looked exactly like that, teasing, confident, and closing in step by step. A man like him had ice in his blood and old money behind his name. When he decided to pursue someone, she almost had no chance. Only this time, I was no longer the woman he wanted. I followed them to the office building. Before they walked in, they smoothly put distance between themselves. Julian entered first. Everyone greeted him. He nodded calmly, then waved toward Sophie as if it were nothing. Under the envious eyes of the entire lobby, Sophie stepped into his private elevator, as if announcing one thing. She had special privileges. The scene burned my eyes. I sat in the car and forced every emotion down until the housekeeper called. Lily was awake and looking for me. When I got home, Lily threw her arms around my neck. She sat on my lap, swinging her legs, happily telling me about yesterday.
Lily saw Miss Sophie too. She dressed like Anya Bunny and played with me for a long time.
My breath caught, so that was why Julian had suddenly taken Lily to the amusement park. It was for Sophie. Finding Sophie's background was easy. Her school, her modest family, her interview process, her part-time job at the amusement park, and her Instagram. Then I saw the photo. Lily and Sophie, cheek to cheek, smiling at the camera. In the mirror behind them, I could see a man crouching to take the picture. Julian. They looked like a happy little family. Sophie's Instagram was full of him, the hot chocolate he sent when she was on her period, the night he stayed beside her hospital bed during a business trip, the little things she lost, quietly collected, and kept safe by him. Nausea rose in my throat. My makeup was ruined by tears. I looked at the woman in the mirror and almost pitied her. I thought if I ignored Julian's other women, I could keep pretending everything was fine, but I had already lost myself. There was nothing left for me to save. That evening, the housekeeper set the soup on the table. I remembered how I used to bring Julian dinner at the office every week. For Lily's sake, I decided to talk to him, so I drove to his company. Night had fallen, and the top floor office was still bright. The door was half open. I was about to knock when I heard Sophie's voice.
What do I have to do to make you stay with me?
Stay with you and then what? Be the other woman? I do have self-respect. Yes, I fell for you. I can't help wanting you. But the moment I saw your wife sitting beside you, I knew you could never give me what I want. I want a love I don't have to hide. So let's end this.
Then Julian sighed and pulled her into his arms. My hand tightened on the door handle. I was about to leave. Then I heard him say,
What if I divorce her?
My heart dropped into an abyss. By the time I came back to myself, I was already in my car. My hands shook on the steering wheel. Tears kept falling. I laughed and cried at the same time. Julian wanted a divorce, and my first instinct was to run. That night, Julian did not come home. I watched the sky turn pale and decided to ask him face to face. Was he really going to divorce me? At the very least, I had to protect Lily from the fallout. After 2 sleepless nights, I put on makeup and drove to Julian's office. His private elevator took me straight to the top floor. Julian was in a meeting. I waited in his office. Then Sophie came in. She brought me tea, polite and respectful. When she leaned closer, I smelled cedarwood and cigarette smoke. Lily was right. She smelled like Julian. I looked at her and asked,
Don't you have anything to say to me?
Her hand shook. Hot tea splashed onto her skin, turning it red. She looked fragile and helpless. Then she crouched down and wiped the floor, but she still would not answer. I stared coldly at the top of her head. Suddenly, a large hand grabbed her wrist and pulled her up.
Claire, you came here first thing in the morning just to throw your weight around? She is my employee, not your servant.
Sophie's eyes turned red.
Mr. Ashford, she didn't mean to.
I laughed. Maybe even Julian had forgotten. Before I married him, I was never some meek little lamb.
Mr. Ashford? I don't remember the CEO of Ashford Group ever calling you his sister.
Sophie's eyes filled with tears.
I was only trying to be friendly. You probably don't understand. As an executive assistant, I have to consider every little thing. Friendly? On what right? You had the boss drive his wife and daughter to drop at your apartment? And you call that considering everything?
Julian pulled her behind him. His eyes were cold.
Apologize.
Behind him, the people leaving the conference room went silent. I steadied my breathing.
Julian, I have no reason to apologize.
Did I stutter? Apologize.
His anger crawled up my spine like something cold and wet. Right. This was Julian Ashford. Once he decided something, no one could change his mind. Just like when he decided to marry me. Just like now, when he had fallen for his new assistant. I should have known. There was no escaping this, so I smiled calmly.
Julian, let's get a divorce.
A flicker of shock crossed Julian's face, then it turned into a sneer.
Are you trying to threaten me with divorce? Claire, I hate people who think they know better. And I especially hate people who try to threaten me.
I want a divorce.
The air stayed still for a long time. Then Julian laughed coldly.
Fine. We'll file right now.
He dropped every meeting and every deal, then went with me to family court. When we received the 30-day waiting period notice, Julian threw out one sentence.
30 days should be enough for you to come to your senses.
After that, Julian stopped coming home. I knew he was staying at a hotel. He sent Marcus back once to pick up his clothes. When Marcus saw me, he looked like he wanted to say something, but he held it back. I understood why. I had always managed Julian's clothes, meals, and daily routine. Marcus used to only handle work. Now his workload had more than doubled. I handed him the suitcase.
Lily's birthday is the day after tomorrow. Remind him to show up.
Marcus passed on the message, but I did not expect Julian to bring someone with him. At Lily's birthday party, Sophie stood beside Julian in a midnight blue sequined gown. It matched his navy suit perfectly. Julian held her hand and introduced her to the room like it was natural.
This is Sophie.
Lily, dressed like a little princess, ran over and threw herself into Julian's arms. Sophie stood beside them, smiling warmly. They looked like a real family.
Julian must be serious this time. I heard the divorce is almost final. He really spoils her. Look at that dress. The mistress looks better than the wife. I thought Julian loved Claire. Men always have their flings. Push too hard and you lose control. Now even the child.
Then Lily came to me holding Sophie's hand.
Mommy, Miss Sophie brought me a present. Can I go see it?
I nodded. Lily cheered softly. Julian swirled the champagne in his glass and finally glanced at me.
Keep an eye on her.
I laughed bitterly inside and turned to find Lily. But in the blink of an eye, she and Sophie were both gone. I searched everywhere. Then a woman screamed nearby. Right after that, I heard Lily cry. I ran toward the sound. A man was gripping Sophie's arm.
You think you can hide from me? Your father owes money and won't pay. My whole family is being squeezed dry while you live like this. If I go down, I'm dragging you with me.
Sophie screamed and pulled free, but Lily was standing right beside her. She had nowhere to go. The man's eyes landed on my daughter. Then he pulled a knife from his pocket and pressed it to Lily's neck. Every drop of blood in my body turned cold. I looked around for Julian. Then I saw him far away, with his arm around Sophie's waist. He was looking at me with suspicion. Time slowed. In that instant, I understood what he was thinking. He thought I had arranged this to hurt Sophie, so I understood something else too. I could not count on him. He would not save my Lily. When I grabbed the blade with my bare hand, I did not feel the pain. I only cared about one thing. Lily had to be safe. She screamed and cried until Julian finally rushed over from across the room. By then, the blade had cut down to the bone. Only after Lily was pulled away did my strength give out. At the hospital, the wound on my hand was deep enough to show bone. Julian stood at the door for a long time. He said nothing.
Mrs. Ashford, I'm so sorry. I don't even know that man. I was just too scared.
I slapped her hard. Julian, who had stayed silent until then, finally snapped.
Claire! You failed to watch Lily and now you're blaming someone else?
I looked straight into his cold eyes.
Julian, I'm begging you. If you want to lose your mind over some woman, fine. But leave our daughter out of it. She's innocent.
His lips moved, but he said nothing.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Julian looked away first.
I'll take her home.
Sophie looked surprised. He walked ahead, and she followed behind him carefully. Then she reached out and caught the edge of his jacket. A second later, he pulled her into his arms. I closed my eyes and let the pain wash over me. For the next few days, Lily kept waking up from nightmares. I stayed by her side day and night, trying to chase the fear out of her little heart. Julian stayed at his hotel. The only difference was that every day, he sent Lily a new gift. Each one was more expensive than the last. Sometimes there was something for me too. A designer bag, an auction necklace, a full set of luxury skincare. They sat awkwardly among Lily's toys, each worth a small fortune. Then one day, he finally came home. Lily jumped down from her chair and ran to him. My smile faded. I asked the housekeeper to set another place at the table. At dinner, Julian and Lily laughed the whole time. That night, after putting Lily to bed, I returned to the bedroom and found Julian still there. The air between us was thick with things neither of us said. I knew what he was waiting for. He wanted me to give in. Instead, I picked up my pillow.
I'll sleep in the guest room.
Then he gave a short, cold laugh.
Claire, have I been too nice to you lately? Is that why you've forgotten your place?
I met his eyes.
I haven't forgotten it. We're in a separation period.
He walked toward me step by step. Then he grabbed my jaw and forced me to look at him. For one moment, something in his dark eyes seemed to crack. He released me, his lips curved in mockery.
Fine. Tomorrow morning, you'll personally deliver my clothes to Sophie's apartment.
Julian left that night. The next morning, I delivered his clothes to Sophie's apartment. I expected to see him inside, but Sophie did not even know he planned to move in with her. For a second, joy flashed across her face. Then her eyes filled with tears.
Mrs. Ashford, Julian and I may have feelings for each other, but we've always kept our boundaries. I'm not going to be the victim of some rich people's open marriage. I'm the one who asked for the divorce. You were there. But if you don't want this, talk to Julian. Don't put on a show for me.
Then I left. On the drive home, the sky turned gray and rain started falling. The moment I saw the rain, I suddenly missed my mother. So I turned the car toward the cemetery on the edge of the city. I followed memory to her grave, then I froze. My mother's plot had been merged with the one beside it, and the name on the other stone made my blood run cold. My birth father, the man who had destroyed her life. My mother's last words were still burned into my memory.
Don't let him follow me into the grave.
But now, he was buried right beside her. Even her headstone had been changed. A groundskeeper saw my face and looked surprised.
Mrs. Ashford, you didn't know? Mr. Ashford had this gentleman reburied beside your mother last month. Your sister was here too.
Sister. The word hit me like lightning. Sophie Whitmore. That was why she and I looked a little alike. That was why her last name was Whitmore. It should have been mine too. So this was what Julian had been hiding. My eyes burned. I snatched the broom from the groundskeeper's hands and swung it at my birth father's gravestone. No one dared stop me. I hit it again and again, but the stone would not move. Then Julian's voice cut through from behind me.
Claire! What the hell are you doing?
Sophie stood beside him, staring at me like I was a monster. I threw the broom handle at them. The sharp edge scraped across Julian's temple, and blood appeared at once. I did not step back.
Julian Ashern, you knew that man killed my mother. How could you? How could you? He only wanted to be buried beside your mother. What's wrong with that? If you want to be angry at me. He knew he was wrong at the end. He even asked me to look for you. Enough!
I raised my hand, but Julian caught my wrist. Sophie hid behind him.
You think I'll let you hit her again?
Then he noticed the scar on my palm. His voice softened a little.
What's done is done. Let it go. Play your cards right and things can go back to the way they were.
I looked at him with bloodshot eyes. This was the man I had once loved. Every part of his face had once felt precious to me.
Julian, first it was Lily, then my mother. Do you really think we can go back? In your eyes, how worthless am I?
The cemetery told me moving my mother's grave required both spouses' signatures. I knew Julian would never sign, so I had to wait for the divorce. But the Ashfords would never let me go easily. To them, it did not matter whether Julian loved me or whether I was happy. As long as I was still useful for appearances, I had to stay Mrs. Ashford. I pressed my forehead against the steering wheel. Slowly, my hand moved to my still flat stomach. An idea began to form. Someone knocked on the window. Julian stood outside, frowning.
Are you feeling all right?
I sat up and put both hands back on the wheel. Then I hit the gas. Julian jerked back. Sophie screamed.
Claire! Have you lost your mind?
I did not listen. I drove away without looking back. On the way home, Julian's mother, Eleanor, called. She had heard the rumors. She wanted me to bring Lily to the Ashford estate. The moment Lily got out of the car, her grandparents picked her up. The Ashfords loved children, especially their only grandchild. After they played with Lily for a while, they finally got to the point. When I confirmed that Julian and I had filed for divorce, both of them frowned.
We know about that woman.
Julian crossed the line this time. But no matter what, you are the lady of this family. We will never let some no-one take your place. Claire, Julian made mistakes, but Lily is still young. You have to think about the child. Talk to Julian. Work things out. A divorce is out of the question.
When they finally stopped, I took the pregnancy report from my bag. Eleanor's eyes widened. Then she clapped her hands in delight.
This is wonderful news. The Ashfords have only had one heir for generations.
Claire, if you carry this baby to term, you'll be the family's greatest blessing.
Mom, Dad, if you want this baby, let Julian and I divorce.
Eleanor froze.
What do you mean?
After the divorce, the baby goes to you. I get money, and I get Lily. You raise the child yourselves. Do not give it to Julian, and do not let any of his women near it. Agree, and I'll have the baby. Otherwise, I'll schedule the procedure. As for Julian and me, with or without this child, the divorce is happening.
The room fell silent. After a long pause, Eleanor sighed.
Claire, a woman should not push so hard. Why make things so difficult for yourself?
Only I knew I had no other choice. Without Sophie, there would be another woman. One day, it might not just be a woman sitting in his car. It might be a woman holding his child. And when that day came, what would happen to Lily? All I wanted was to protect her. As for this baby, Richard and Eleanor Ashford would raise it with everything money could buy. It was risky, but it was the only move that could win. Richard and Eleanor agreed. To keep Julian from interfering, they promised to keep my pregnancy secret. I had a lawyer draft the agreement right away. By the time everything was signed, night had fallen. Lily and I stayed at the estate. Eleanor asked the staff to bring me a bowl of herbal soup. I was eating slowly at the table when Julian appeared. When Julian saw me, he loosened his tie. He looked ready for a fight.
Sophie is leaving the city tomorrow. Are you happy now?
My spoon paused. Then I understood.
I didn't do that.
No? You ran to my parents and whispered in their ears. Now they're forcing her out. I'd say you're pretty capable.
I was too tired to read his moods.
I'm sorry. Go to the cemetery tomorrow and sign the transfer papers. Pick the new plot yourself, then tell me.
I stared at him. He thought this was all about the grave.
Okay.
I did not want to argue. He looked at me for a moment longer. 2 hours later, I saw his silhouette on Sophie's Instagram. The caption said, "He said tonight I'm more beautiful than the moonlight." I laughed. Because Julian had once said those exact words to me. The first time we held hands, his palm had been warm and damp with nerves. I had looked up at the moon and said it was beautiful. He looked at me and said I was more beautiful than the moonlight. Back then, those words made my heart tremble. When Julian tried to withdraw the divorce filing, Eleanor quietly blocked him. So on the 30th day, I got exactly what I wanted. The final divorce decree, I hid it away. Then I told Julian I was pregnant. He was overjoyed. He threw a week-long celebration across the city, a Times Square billboard, a yacht party, tabloid headlines everywhere. Ashford CEO worships the ground. His wife walks on. Our love story was turned into a fairy tale. Only I knew fairy tales were lies. Julian thought I would never make trouble again, so he stopped holding back. Sophie's Instagram posts became more frequent, as if she was desperate to show off their secret paradise. I could not avoid seeing them, but Sophie probably did not know one thing. Every time Julian played soulmate with her, his guilt toward me paid interest. When they kissed under the Eiffel Tower, I received a pink diamond from a Sotheby's auction. When they watched the Northern Lights, an Upper East Side brownstone was transferred to my name. When they tangled on a yacht in the Mediterranean, 5% of Ashford Group's shares quietly entered my account. So when Sophie showed up at the Ashford estate, I was perfectly calm. She came alone. She knelt at the front gate without saying a word. The small swell of her belly said everything. Richard and Eleanor exchanged uneasy looks. Then they let her in. When Sophie saw me, surprise flashed across her face. I raised an eyebrow and smiled.
I could not bear to give up the baby, so she had kept it from Julian. I begged the Ashfords to let me carry it to term. After that, I will disappear with the child.
When Julian arrived, she broke down crying. She begged him to spare her. She said she loved him. She said she loved the baby she had not even met. Her sobs filled the house. When Eleanor came to me, looking torn, my bags were already packed.
The medical care is better in London. I'll come back after the baby is born.
The truth was, I had wanted to leave for a long time. As the months passed, I was running out of excuses to refuse Julian in bed. On the day I left, Julian held my hand. His eyes suddenly turned red.
You don't have to go. My mistakes should not become your burden.
He thought I was heartbroken. He had no idea how happy I was.
Claire, I will only have one wife in this life.
My step paused. I almost laughed. Oh, Julian, I had not been your wife for a long time.